You know, if speaking of playing well, if Corpus Christi was playing well too, winning 6 of their last 7. So you can get a day off, some rest, because they were playing some great basketball. It'll be interesting to see how fatigue, if there is a factor, becomes influential on this game.
HBU in their road orange gets the opening tip. Here is Corsoldt, who we talked about in the open, his 19 points last night in the win over UIW.
Now look at the pressure, David. Look how far out Corpus Christi is pushing the Huskies.
6 to shoot, and Corsoldt pushes off, called for the foul.
Well, and that's what they do to you. That's what the Islanders will do, David. They will stretch you out on the floor. They'll deny passing lanes. They're going to make it hard for you to cross over dribble, and they just force you to turn it over.
And offensively, what does Steve Lutz and staff look from their Islanders today?
Well, they've got to keep the ball moving. They've got great balance. Don't let the ball stick in one person's hands. Just get the ball to the open man.
Terry on Murdix, a nice feed inside, and Lazarus Keys finishes with the layup.
And speaking of getting the ball to the open man, how about the drive, the easy dump down? That's just what they do. That's typical Islanders basketball. They'll rotate the basketball, they'll drive, and they'll find open people.
Murdix, team leader in assists, under 4 a game. Got the first of the game there. Here's Darius Lee, 52 points Saturday in the 4 overtime win over McNeese. Finds in the corner Sam Hoffman, and despite that size, 6'5", 255, he hits 40% of his threes coming in, including that one.
Well, how about being 6'5" and Darius Lee and being able to find people like he does? His passing was exquisite last night. A big reason why they won.
Murdix to the lane and got it altered, taken away by Corsoldt. HBU has the most bulk inside of any team we'll see, and Katie this week. Lee. Murdix covering. Zion Tordov with the left hand.
Well, again, the assist or the find by Darius Lee. Darius Lee is so calm with the basketball. He really makes his teammates better. Puts the ball in their hands in scoring positions.
Backdoor feed, and Murdix just says, well, I might as well throw it up to prevent the turnover, and he makes it.
The ball came back in his hands, David, and he said, what do? I can't dribble it. I don't want to fumble it, so he just tossed it to the basket. That was a very unique play.
Corpus wants to keep this game lower scoring. In their Southland Conference wins, 7 of them, they gave up 65 a game. In their 7 losses, they gave up 82 a contest. Bryson Long cut off, 7 to shoot. Tordov, no whistle. Hoffman, that did not hit iron. Shot clock violation.
Nice possession defensively for the Islanders. They played great defense. Stayed down, didn't leave their feet, just played great position defense.
Huskies shot 60% in the win over UIW yesterday, including 78% in the second half as they pulled away.
Oh, that was just crazy. I mean, that was insane if you think about it. Who shoots 70%, in a half? And they did it. Everything that they could went in the basket, but they got good looks in the basket as well.
Simeon Fryer's first touch, pulls up, well off. HBU's to be successful offensively. What are they doing the most, Ben?
Well, they're going to put the ball in Darius Lee's hands because he makes things happen. Just always finds the open man. I just am so impressed.
Nice try by Corsoldt, but too long.
It's almost like he's a point forward.
Catch and shoot, Keys. Fast pace so far, just over 3 minutes in.
Don't be surprised to see the Huskies try to get transition baskets and try to beat this Islanders defense down the floor.
Hoffman wants another 3.
That's always been the strategy, David, is just trying to play good defense or try to beat people down the floor if you're playing against tough defense.
Corpus is one of their strength offensively, offensive rebounds and passes. Keys, the beautiful feed to Fryer, who finishes that time.
Well, Darius Lee went for the steal, and I thought that was the wrong position, the wrong place to go for a steal. You can't leave somebody naked to the basket.
Corsoldt drives again. This time the wild finish falls.
He gave a stare to the official, but how about that? Maybe an and one. I don't know how he got that to fall.
Pretty feed. Keys able to find Fryer.
I really like how the Islanders are are using basket cuts. The most dangerous cut in basketball is the basket cut. You put extreme pressure on the defense.
Corso for three. Corpus is one of the best rebounding teams in the nation, especially on the offensive end. Here, Ben Braun, all 8 of the Islanders' points in the paint. Both these teams good depth as well. Here's San Antonio Brinson off the bench with a basketball. To Miles Smith, who just checked in. Well off from 3. Jalen Jackson chases it down. 8 to shoot. 3 to shoot. Smith. Stephen Ferramate, as the shot clock was winding down. Joe Wilbert, member of our officiating crew, blows his whistle. And they're going to review this to see if the shot got off in time.
I thought they got it off on time, but David, I use the word thought. It was so close. And I would commend the officials for just kind of saying, let's go to the monitor. That's a really good decision, because if the ball was still in his hands, it was so close. It was a microsecond.
Those 2 angles, I think he barely got it off.
Yeah, I mean, but you can see how close it was in real time.
You don't often see patience like that from Miles Smith with the shot clock winding down. Looks, at least at this point, able to feed Ferramate just in time.
Well, they're going to count the basket, and that's the right call. But I really like the rule. It only takes about 20 seconds. You check it out, but you want to make sure you get it right.
Ferramate, sophomore from here in Houston, his first 2.
It's amazing how you can go right down to the last millisecond of a shot clock and find a way to score. I just can't, hard to understand that.
Corselt again, got it altered by Brinson. Here comes Smith. Last meeting, February 26th, Corpus got up 25-5, but HBU had a chance to tie in the final minutes at home. Islanders wound up winning by 5. Fryer for 3. Off the window, he'll take it.
No bank call, but you're right, he'll take it. And this stage of the year, they all count. But that was a pretty good defense, actually, from HBU, only to have a bank shot fall him at the end.
7 for Fryer in the early going.
Really impressed with the Islanders' defense, David. They're putting all kinds of pressure on HBU.
10 to shoot, here's Lee. Corselt pulls up. Hoffman. Brinson got his hand on the ball and got the rebound.
We'd like to see the big fella use his left hand. I think he could have got to the rim a lot easier.
Jackson finishes. It's a 9-0 Corpus run.
Speaking of getting to the basket easier, that's not what the doctor drew up. If you're HBU, you can't allow direct penetration. There was no help to be found, and now it's HBU that's dug a hole.
Hoffman for 3. In and out. Jackson gets all the way to the rim. 10-point lead.
He beat 3 defenders, David, in transition. He blew by one, blew by another, and then finished at the rim by his 3rd consecutive defender.
Tordoff. And the drive continues. HBU got inside so easily, 46 points in the paint yesterday. Much harder so far today. They let Jackson to the rim again, but he misses this time. And the Huskies have numbers. Corso, Lee, free throws.
Well, they needed that, David. They really did, because it looked like they were going to give up another transition basket. We're fortunate it came back down and now get to go to the foul line. They're going to have to really take a gut check here and just slow down and see if they can be patient against this really, I mean, really aggressive, tenacious defense by the Islanders.
Darius Lee, double-double last night. Mentioned its 52-point performance Saturday in the 4-overtime win over McNeese. It's the most in Division I college basketball this season. He added 18 rebounds.
David, here's a hockey substitution. I used to ask the officials to have a line check. I said, look, let's get a matchup. They used to do that back in the day. They don't do this anymore, but that's the advantage of the Islanders. They can come 5 deep, 4 deep off the bench. This is incredible, and they're already putting pressure on HBU, and HBU's got depth. Don't get me wrong, but the Islanders just continue to play people.
Physicality for the Islanders, how much has that played a factor so far, too?
Well, there's no question. And again, HBU's not a small team. They've got some girth. They've got some size and strength, but it's hard to play against numbers.
We haven't seen Isaac Mishila on the floor in a while. Another back door, this time from Brinson, and Murdix finishes.
And that's what you do when you're being played aggressively. You fight aggression with aggression. You attack the basket.
HBU's missed their last 6 field goals. Corpus has made 5 of its last 6. Hoffman been down for Ron Cottrell's team all year.
Analytics tell you, David, that they play better from behind, but I don't think Ron Cottrell likes those odds. He said to me before the game, we just don't want to keep digging holes and having to come back. It takes too much out of us.
Corpus 9 of 14 shooting, HBU 3 of 11. And Trevion Tennyson, one of their best 3-point shooters, was left wide open but misfires. It's interesting, we haven't seen Isaac Mishila on the floor for a while for Corpus, the newcomer of the year in the league. Corso for 3. That's 7 straight misses now for the Huskies from the floor.
Hey, good look.
Keys doubled, finds Brinson. That would have counted.
You know, David, interesting, you know, you talk about Steve Lutz and his philosophy, and he made it very clear. They struggled for a stretch this year, and he said, look, we got away from our principles, kind of who we are. We were playing some guys, you know, a lot of minutes early. Guys off the bench early in the season, got away from that, and then they started playing guys with more numbers. They're going back to playing more people, getting fresh starts, and just getting more of a team-oriented approach.
And in addition to that, Lutz was saying how we got away from sharing the basketball. How impressed are you, especially with the big men for Corpus, how they're able to distribute?
Incredible, but they, you know, they had to have a come to you-know-what meeting, and they had a couple of closed-door meetings. They said, look, we're getting away from who we are, playing for one another, and I commend the coaching staff that can do that. He challenges players, the players challenge each other, and they've been on a tear ever since. So, you know, sometimes you think things are going your way, and then all of a sudden you hit a bump. You got to make some changes.
So here's Mishila now, the newcomer of the year in the league, second-team all-conference. Double-double in Southland Conference play, and for the season, 13 double-doubles overall.
He's special. He really is. And just to think he's a young guy.
Without him, his team up 13. Here's Bryson Long well off, and Mishila there for the rebound. Murdix. They let him go down the floor again, and he gets fouled from behind. That's about 3 times Murdix has been able to drive full court to the rim.
Well, their whole team is getting to the basket. And you know, they've got some very athletic players, but I just think that HBU's been a little slow to the help side. They've got to get back and close up some gaps, but they're afraid to close gaps because they don't want to give up some open threes. But I think at this point, you've got to give up some open threes, or at least some contested threes. But they're just giving up some direct driving lanes to the basket. They're going to have to close those out. And you mentioned the junior, you know, Isaac Mishila. He's going to have to get back in this game and start doing some things, you know, as well. And when he does, they really can start pulling away from teams. He's been dominant this year.
Corpus does not have a turnover. In Southland Conference games, they were second worst in turning the ball over.
Well, they force turnovers too, David. So, you know, you take the good with the bad. Teams that force people to turn it over sometimes turn it over as well. It's kind of a trade-off.
Jostling leads to the whistle, and Keys will pick up the foul. Well, wrestling with Zaki Yayemi.
You mentioned some big, you know, the size in here, and you know, HBU is big. They've got some inside people, but it's tough when you're playing against pressure to find your inside people. There just aren't a lot of passing lanes.
Darius Lee without a field goal, and a whistle even before the inbounds. Iyayemi, 250-pound junior from nearby Cypress, Texas, picks up his first.
Well, he's going to get some fouls. I always told our big guys, it's okay for you to get some fouls. Make sure they're smart fouls and they're aggressive fouls. Make sure they're, you know, the fouls that aren't giving your opponents an advantage.
I apologize. Iyayemi's second as he goes to the bench. HBU plays zone.
They're trying to do anything to slow down this team from getting to the basket.
Murdix pulls up. Key saves, but into the hands of Tordoff. Corpus gets back. For three, Jason Thompson misfires. HBU has made just one of their last 12 from the floor. 8 on the shot clock. Jade C pulls up. Yes.
Well, you remember yesterday he had a big, really a big flourish for HBU. Was hoping that he can step back in again. Let's see what this stoppage of play is about. Looks like we lost a contact.
Yeah, we're told Jason Thompson has a contact on the floor.
It's because our producer has good eyes.
And Ron Cottrell, HBU head coach, is right around midcourt.
Now, you don't think Ron Cottrell does it all for his team, David? I mean, he was the AD. He used to drive the bus, pack the lunches. Now he's a doctor of optometry out here. He's finding all kinds of things. He's an interesting guy, Ron Cottrell. I mean, they don't make him like Ron anymore. He's just a pleasure to have gotten to know him over the years. But now, you know, I love how he's out on the floor, just, you know, housekeeping.
Well, give Miles Smith of the Islanders credit. He found it way back near the HBU hoop. It's Thompson, junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, Ron Cottrell, 31st season at HBU now, 508 wins. And even, because most of those seasons they were an NAIA program, transitioning to the Southland has been, for the most part, I think, smooth for the program.
No, it sure has. But, you know, 31 years as a head coach, that's number 5 in the country, active coaches, tenured coaches. That's amazing. But you see the zone again. I think that's a good move by HBU. Stay in the zone, make it a little bit tougher to get to the basket.
Tennyson pulls up, gets the roll, his first 2.
Well, I say that, and they still got into the paint, but you know, zones are supposed to keep you on the perimeter, but they've got to try something because they have not slowed down the Islanders. They've been very aggressive, and they've hurt the Huskies with penetration.
Lee still without a field goal. C for 3. Yes, off the bench. The sophomore from Queens, New York, 5 straight points. I mentioned HBU, they are a team of runs both ways. See if this is the run to get them back in it. They got it to 9 with a 3. Lob pass Lee. Try to knock it off Mushila out of bounds, and then afterwards Lee picks up the foul.
Yeah, I think he had that one to do over. He probably would have tried to find a teammate. You can save it under your own basket. But you don't want to throw it to your opponents when they're their basket. But I liked what they were trying to do. They were trying to get the ball inside to Lee right away. He had a mismatch. He was being guarded by the smallest player, but they couldn't do it because of the pressure. Too good.
6 HBU fouls, just 2 for the Islanders so far.
Here's they'll start man, but after the first pass, they go back and they're in the zone. David again trying to keep the Islanders off the glass, out of the paint.
Tennyson to the rim. Thompson the board, so the zone has worked so far.
I think so. Now they've just got to convert on this end. Easier said than done against pressure, but they've got isolations with Lee. And I think that's a smart move. They can pick up some fouls this way. You know, Lee has a way of hurting you because he'll beat you on the one-on-one move, but he'll destroy you on any double or triple teams that you inevitably have to throw at him. He's just such a great pinpoint passer. He'll take a break here, David, till the next TV timeout.
Goes to the bench. In HBU's win over Corpus, Lee had 25. In their loss just under 2 weeks ago, he was held to 5 of 15 from the floor. C. His pass hit the ankle of Keys, picked up by Tordoff, who lays it in.
I wonder if they'll give an assist from that, the pass off the ankle.
They have it to within 10. Tennyson from the corner. This is what HBU does. You knew they'd get back in it. It's what they've done all year.
Yeah, they sure have. But, you know, Jade C's also been a guy that's helped them come back in the last day or two.
Nice feed long. Finds from the corner. Corsalt.
Well, how about the hop in the step here by the Huskies? They got that extra little pop in their step, David. They're back.
looks to answer, and does.
Now Bryson Long closed out a little bit too strong. You've got to close out and keep grounded.
Fryer with 10, came in averaging 8 a game, and the Islanders back up 10. See, lost to going.
Carved out his own niche as a coach, and I really like what he's doing with this ball club.
He's from Texas, played at Texas Lutheran in Seguin.
Didn't mention those smaller schools, I should know better.
For 3, Thompson short, and foul on Corpus.
You know, David, you mentioned, sorry to interrupt, you mentioned Coach Lutz, and he's also a guy that said, look, as coaches, it wasn't just on the players that were struggling. As coaches, as a head coach, I had to get better. You really appreciate that, a coach with no ego.
He actually says that 10-2 start might have hurt the team, but their only losses in non-conference at Texas A&M, at Nebraska, at Minnesota. He says they came back from Christmas break and all the players' friends were telling him, you're going to the NCAA tournament. Said they lost their focus. At one point, they had lost 5 straight before coming in winners of 4 of 5.
Well, again, kudos to recognize that as a coach.
Miles Smith for 3. So yeah, Steve Lutz feels his Islanders are playing their best basketball coming in. Bryson Long got hit to the ground, and 3 free throws are coming up. Fryer will pick up the foul.
Well, that's an interesting transition play there. Obviously, good defense. They rebound, they get out in transition. You say, well, is that a good shot? He gets fouled, but it is a good shot if you can get shots before the defense sets up. And you got to remember, if you allow the Islanders to dig into you in the half court, they're gonna turn you over most of the time. They're that good defensively. So I like the idea of getting out on the floor and getting some shots up. And in this case, getting an opportunity now for 3. And Bryson Long, good free throw shooter. That's generally pretty good percentages.
Well, 86% before that miss, and much like Darius Lee, Huskies hoping to get Long going. He scored in double figures in 9 of his last 10. This is very unusual. 0 for 2 with 1 more to go.
Dave, we always used to say if you miss a free throw, step off the line a little bit or do something. And there's some merit to that. Get back, get your rhythm, breathe a little bit.
Shooting into the Corpus band. That's his first point as he makes 1 of 3 on the trip.
Well, I can tell you this, you'll hear from Bryson Long again. He's not going to hang his head because he missed a couple of free throws. Here's the zone again. 2-3, they'll match you up. They'll try to keep it out of the high post if they can. Once it gets in there, danger area, but good coverage, double team, causing the travel. That's a really soft spot in the zone, and I thought the HBU did a really good job closing down on that.
That is the first Corpus turnover.
Amazing.
With just over 6 minutes left in the first half.
You don't force a lot of turnovers. It took a zone to force one.
HBU led 5-4 early, then Corpus went on a 15-2 run. 10 to shoot. Double on Long. Corselt for 3. What a cut of the 6. And then second straight possession in which Corpus gets called for a foul on a rebound. Or actually, overall, that's the 3rd straight possession in which the Islanders have been called for a foul as HBU's have the ball. That's the first foul called on Jackson. Just the 6th on the Islanders.
That was a great offensive rebound just to keep that possession alive. Huge.
Leah's back in and will throw the ball in for HBU. Posting up on Mushila. Still can't get his first field goal. Jackson to the rim. Well, again, Corpus is able to get to the rim in transition often in this first half. This is the Islanders' pace. In their conference wins, as mentioned, they've allowed 65 a game. In their conference losses, 82. HBU continues to be called from the floor, just over 30%. Fryer for 3. Yes! Third 3, 13 in the half to pace all scorers.
He's been really, really exceptional from the perimeter. Great look. And now for his team.
Is this where you try to find a way to get it to Lee or Long, neither without a field goal?
Well, I think so, but they're trying, David. It's not like they're not making an effort. Lee's got his hands on the ball almost every possession if he can, and there you go. I like that he's getting the ball in the middle of the floor. Very little help side defense. Everybody's one pass away, so you can't key in on Darius Lee. If you do, he'll find an open shooter, and he'll allow his team to get some three-point looks.
You would have told me that Darius Lee, Bryson Long, and the newcomer of the year in the league, Isaac Mashila, would all be without a field goal at 4:37 in the first half. I would not have believed you.
But it speaks to the defense. Both teams know these are the players that can hurt you, so there's a concerted effort to stop them. And also, it shows that the other team players on the team are also capable. It's not just a one-man or two-man show.
Front end missed, and Lee has 1 for 3 at the line, much like his teammate Long.
You know, you just wonder if fatigue could be a factor, not only from the game last night, but the 4 overtime game the other day. That's playing like 2 games in one night.
Islanders up 14 with the basketball. Lee right on Fryer, who's been the hottest shooter for Corpus this half.
He's not leaving him.
6 to shoot. See the tip. And Corpus will only have 3 on the shot clock and will inbound it behind the midcourt stripe.
Oh, that's good defense. Now you're in the zone. You might have to extend just a little bit. You don't want them to just throw it in and approach the zone with a head of steam. It looks like they're going to really put some pressure on and then either drop back zone, or they're going to try to just back up and play a pretty good sagging man.
Murdix from half court. Shot clock violation.
That's good defense, David. That's what you want to do. If you sit back in the zone, you're going to get a shot off. So I thought that was a great move by Ron Cottrell to extend the defense and virtually not give them a shot.
Winner gets top seed Nichols in our first semifinal tomorrow. Our second round matchup later today, 7:30 Central Time. McNeese and the third seed UNO, who had the conference lead all the way until the season's final day when Nichols knocked them off. Bryson Long from the wing. Still ice cold from the floor. HBU 3 of 13 from beyond the arc.
It's tough to get a good look against this Islanders team, David. They're there on the catch, and they really know who the shooters are on this HBU team.
Fryer moves inside this time. Keys, yes, 7-0 run.
No, and you got to thank, obviously, that's the hot shooter who's finding people now, because you're putting pressure on shooters, and they're able to drive and get to the paint and dish.
Tordoff works on Keys, spins, now to the rim. Pretty finish.
Well, I like the patience and I like the foul through. It's called a step through. You show middle, and then you step through to the baseline.
Beautiful feet inside, yet Tordoff got a hand of the basketball. Keys got been when HBU's been in any real offensive rhythm.
No, and again, that you say, well, they've struggled, but it's always, it really comes down to how your opponents are playing you. They're causing much of the problem, and many of the problems that HBU's had. It's just they've disrupted them. They played good defense. And it's been really tough because the Islanders have been in rhythm, and the Islanders, again, have been playing really very good basketball.
And Steve Lutz says he essentially has 6 to 10 starters. Depth has been an advantage for his squad all season long. 20 wins after winning just 5 last year.
David, it's an advantage if it's an advantage. And we'll get into that. I'll explain that later.
And HBU, at least within 10. This might be a boon for them if they have that deficit going into halftime. There's just 5 to shoot, and Corso fires. They still remain ice cold from beyond the arc, now 3 of 14.
Now, again, great defense by the Islanders.
Fryer got it stripped away. Corso and Corpus, great job getting back. Long had to back out. Lee got the step, still without a field goal. That's how it's gone for HBU this half.
Well, I thought he had a layup with his right hand, somehow decided to cross over to his left, maybe trying to draw the contact, but he had almost a clear path to the basket. But David, I mentioned it's an advantage for depth if it's an advantage, if you use it to your advantage. And now you've got Steve Lutz's team that believes, going back to believing in who they are and what they do, and you can see it's paying off.
Winners of 4 of 5 coming in. Errant pass, and that's 2 straight turnovers for the Islanders, but just 4 in the first half overall.
You know, I used to ask my players, would you accept playing less minutes so somebody else could play more so we could be fresher? Most guys will tell you yes. You know, I'd like to hook a few of those guys up to a lie detector test and see if that machine acted up. But no, but it's human nature. You want to play, you want to get minutes. It's not human nature to want to give up some time and give up of yourself unless you want to win.
But do you sometimes have to go through some adversity, which they did, losing 5 straight at one point in conference?
Absolutely, and that's what precipitated this change. So give the players and the coaching staff a lot of credit to step up and say, look, we got to go back to what we have done well and make it work for us. And they see the results. Now they're winning, and they're winning because more players are playing more minutes. They're getting much better effort on the floor, and they're going back to being that dominant team they were earlier in the year.
8 Islanders have scored, and Isaac Mishila, the newcomer of the year in the league, is not one of them.
That just doesn't happen often. 8 guys have scored in the first half, and you know, when it's all said and done, they get multiple guys in double figures. And it's HBU who's just struggling from the free throw line.
They're 2 of 7 from the line now. To the rim, oh, almost a highlight dunk instead. San Antonio Brinson will have to go to the stripe.
You see the aggression of the Islanders. Just they have the feeling that that they're unstoppable. They're playing with aggressiveness. They're playing unselfishly. And they're just finding openings. You know, they're not going just one-on-one, but they're trying to find openings.
And this young man's been through so much. His brother was murdered in late November. He missed 6 games as he went home to be with his family. Missed 2 games in late January after getting COVID. And Steve Lett simply praises him for somehow finding a way to come back and be a part of this team in a productive one.
David, it's heartbreaking. If you know his story, you bleed with him. But you just also, with open arms, you welcome his courage, his toughness, and you know that's somebody that can inspire his teammates, inspire anybody. You know, to go through what he's gone through. If you can't get inspired and get out of yourself to get into somebody else's life and support your teammate, love your teammate, I don't know what does. But you're right, it's been a great story, although a sad story.
4 points, 3 boards for Brinson as he goes to the bench. And this is the biggest lead for Corpus now as we approach a minute to go in the half. Nice feed. Oh, Thompson misses the dunk. You know, I think I mentioned a minute ago, Darius Lee missed layup was the story of the half for HBU. I take it back. That was.
Well, and you can see the dejected, just how dejected. They're just looking at their coach and just saying, I don't know what more to do. I've never missed a dunk like that. You know, it's frustrating, and sometimes you just need a break on the court, but it's been that type of night for HBU.
Remember, it was just February 26th. Corpus led at HBU 25-5, and HBU had a missed 3 with a minute to go that would have tied it. So don't go anywhere after we hit halftime here. Another turnover. This is Tennyson palming the ball.
No, and A&M is giving Corpus Christi giving the Huskies opportunities. They're opening the courts. Huskies just don't want to oblige here and accept it, but they're getting some opportunities if they can take advantage of it.
How important is just a hoop for HBU down the stretch here?
Hoop or foul or anything. Just try to get to the free throw line and convert.
Lee pulls up, still without a field goal.
Conversion at the free throw line. They really have to score.
Lee in the regular season, 3rd in the conference in points and rebounds. He's 6th in the nation in steals. Horsfeld at 5 early points, but scoreless since. He handles the basketball. 10 on the shot clock.
Pressure, I like it. Try to take a little time off the clock before you attack.
Here's Murdix. Triple teamed. Keys look to go inside. The tip almost went in. The second try is
very astute, tough playing team in Corpus Christi.
And we'll say it again. It wasn't long ago, February the 26th. HBU was down 20 to Corpus at home. Had a chance to tie with a minute to go. Huskies have the ball first to begin the second half. And from the corner, Sam Hoffman for 3.
Well, that's a good look.
Murdix.
That was a good look to start the half. You live with that open 3.
DeLazarus Keys. And Zion Tordov has his second board. Darius Lee, 6 days off a 52-point performance in the 4 overtime win over McNeese. Most points in a Division I game this year for any individual player. Just 1 point so far. Hoffman's going to try another one. this one almost went down again.
Well, he had another wide open look, David. Pass was a little low. I hate when shooters receive the ball at their ankles. They've got to receive passes in their pocket. Shooting pocket makes it a lot easier. It's not an excuse, but it just makes it easier to score.
8 Islanders scored in the first half. And the Jalen Jackson drive, he's fouled. Corsolt picks up his second.
Now, basketball is such a game of little things. You don't often pick them up, but, whether it's a pass that's on the money or it's, passing or playing defense about where your opponent's trying to get to, not following your opponent, but trying to beat him to a spot. Little things make a big difference in the game.
And now it's the Islanders up 20.
Yeah, that's the mark you don't want to get to. You start digging a hole when you get 20 points down, and now that's going to be a real uphill battle for HBU.
They had 2 open Hoffman looks, which went in and out. Here's Darius Lee giving it a try. Yes, first field goal here early in the second half.
They're going to need many more of those to get back in this game. It's a start.
And back at Lee and his teammates going.
You see the zone defense again, trying to go back to the zone. Had some success in the first half.
Mushila threads the needle, throws it up, in and out. Off Murdoch's out of bounds.
Yeah, you just get the feeling, David, that HBU is so close. They get a couple of stops, then if they can convert, and they haven't, they've missed some easy layups, they've missed some free throws. They've left a lot of points on the table.
Ron Control's team is streaky. When can the run start? It's a foul on Miles Smith, his second. And the second half was their half for sure in the win over UIW last night. They held UIW to 29% shooting in the second half as they pulled away for the 74-64 win. They need an even better second half performance here tonight.
Well, you can see Corpus Christi, David, not allowing HBU to get in the rhythm. They're making it hard just to get the inbounds pass in. It's really tough. It's what they've been playing against all game long. Pressure.
Long, hung up in the air. Murdoch saved it, but Hoffman, there was a reset on the shot clock, and HBU will still have the basketball.
David, has anything come easy for this Husky team? It just seems like everything's a battle. It's uphill. It's a stretch trying to make passes, complete passes, and they're just really getting pressured defensively.
And also, all those switches around the perimeter, those are by Corpus's big guys who have seemed to have the ability to stay in front of Ron Cottrell's guards.
No, it's really amazing. Defense, breeds and promotes defense. Once you're in that mindset, you're all on a string. It doesn't matter. You switch out. The ball's the most important thing on the floor. You stop it, and then you get help.
Shot clock now to 27. Hoffman got it knocked loose. It was Mushila with the good hands. Murdoch's the pretty reverse.
That's a great look. That was just protection, rim protection. You go up, use the rim as a shield. I love that play.
Corsolt drives and lost it, but still HBU basketball. Terry on Murdoch's, now in double figures. What a pretty move.
Well, here it is. You go up one side, and you just use the rim as protection. That's great basketball.
Corsolt 19 last night, just 5 today. Here he comes. Got right by Mushila. That would have counted.
Well, again, David, that's a start. When you're playing against an aggressive team, and Corpus Christi's aggressive, you have to fight aggression with aggression. You're getting pressured. You're going to have to go to the basket. You're going to have to either finish or get fouled. Nothing wrong with getting fouled, going to the free throw line and making your opponents pay for the pressure.
Corsolt, junior from Los Angeles, averaged 12 a game in conference play and had 19 last night. Double figures in 7 of 8. He's a junior. Bryson Long, a sophomore. Sam Hoffman, a junior. Ron Cottrell, regardless of the result tonight, going to have a lot of these guys coming back. They will have to replace Darius Lee.
Well, how do you stop Corpus Christi, David? It's just, again, it's not a one-man show. They've done it pretty much without Mushila tonight, so there's just scoring and there's aggression on every corner of this team that's really been tough. They're playing a zone, but you know they've had some success lately.
Fryer for three. Had 3 in the first half. That was well off. Bryson Long trying to get going. Cut off and resets. Long pass to an open Hoffman, who'll try it from that same corner, and this time he connects.
Well, and guess what, David? If we have a chance to look at that later, look where that pass came, right into his shooting pocket. It was up, easy stroke. Didn't have to reach for it.
Tennyson. Well, here's the run we were waiting for. This is what HBU's done all year, this up and down play within 14 and with the ball.
Bryson Long's been quiet. That's the one guy they just haven't gotten off yet.
Hoffman spins, got fouled.
But I like the approach, though, David. You got to look and you got to probe. Where can you find openings? And Hoffman's got the ability to take his man with his size. That's the one area that really A&M Corpus Christi doesn't have a matchup and answer for. So I like the fact they're going inside, and then when they penetrate, Hoffman's been able to go out and shoot from the perimeter.
Lee spins, puts it up. Would have got them within 12. Here comes Jackson. Winner gets top seed Nichols in our first semifinal tomorrow.
In that last time out, he got after his players. He said, look, guys, we're allowing this team to hang around. We're up 20, and this is the same team that came back from 20 down, so I can understand the urgency. You know, this is a win or go home. You can't be complacent in this game or feel good about having a lead. HBU's too good. That can come back on you.
The Islanders just 2 of 6 shooting this half. HBU within 14 and with the ball. Quick spin after the catch. Hoffman torn off the offensive board. Shot clock didn't reset. 2 free throws coming.
Yeah, again, David, just, you know, HBU's not going anywhere. There's a lot of basketball left. They can cut this thing to single digits. And you're Steve Lutz. You've played good basketball, but it's not enough. You got to play through the, you know, through the time, the runs, and you got to play to the end. And they're allowing HBU to climb back in this game.
Tordoff from Bradford, England. Played at Marist for 2 seasons, but hurt all last year before making his way to Houston. Yeah, it's something, and we've seen it with, it was Texas earlier today, Xavier yesterday. These big second half leads, and all of a sudden they go away. And I know coaches preach all the time, keep your focus for 40 minutes, but you've been a part of it. It's obviously so hard to do.
Oh, it's hard, you know, but life's hard. You know, you gotta find a way to fight. You know, human nature, and if you want to be good at it, you got to put up a fight.
That's a 7-0 HBU run to get to within a dozen. Tennyson, yes.
That's the one area of the zone you got to try to make the ball go sideways, east-west. You don't want to allow the ball to get in the heart in the middle of your zone.
Corso drives. Torn off in the short corner. Faramade bumping Corsell, picks up the foul.
Again, you keep your eyes on Steve Lutz. He's still, you know, begging his team, hey, let's get some offense, let's get some defensive rebounds. You're giving HBU just a couple of openings here. JC back in the game. He's been a real spark plug for this team.
Sparked a first half run with 5 quick points. Here he is driving, finds Hoffman, his favorite spot. Short this time. Tennyson fires. Well short. Is it human nature also to think, we win, we play in 24 hours?
Well, it is, but you know, you just got to take a game at a time here.
Nine to shoot for Lee. Drives. And one.
Don't look now, David, but they're making a slow but sure comeback. These are just methodical drives. You're putting the ball into an all-purpose guy that came off a 50-plus point game. He's been relatively quiet, but he's not going to stay quiet for long. And Corpus Christi's got to pay attention.
Well, his historic night Saturday and the 4-overtime win over McNeese. 52 points, most of any Division I player this season. 18 boards. He was 20 of 27 from the line. He's been limited so far tonight by the Islanders.
Yeah, so far. Key words.
Steal. They can get it to within single digits. Lee drives. 9-point game.
Watch out, David. Don't go anywhere. I don't know who'd want to lead now. We got a basketball game.
Lee, 8 of his 9 coming this half. We've just played over 6 minutes since the break. Tennyson looking for Brinson. Still Corpus ball, 12 to shoot.
You can see the enthusiasm now. You see HBU fighting through some of the first half woes. They're getting active. Their hands are on the ball. They're pressuring out on the floor, double teaming. They're the aggressor this half.
Five to shoot. Tyrese Nicholson finds Murdix. Has to hurry. Got it to fall.
That's a huge basket. Just really tough at the end of the shot clock. That's ice water in the veins, David. That's a tough, tough look with the shot clock dwindling.
Bryson Long, a step back three. Still without a field goal. Darius Lee's gotten going. You'd think Bryson Long needs to as well.
Absolutely.
Nicholson drives, finishes. The junior's first 2.
Well, and that's what they did in the first half. They got to the rim. They got points in the paint, and they're going back to what got them the lead early.
24 points in the paint now for the Islanders, doubling HBU in that category. Lee, not a great three-point shooter, under 30%. Benner getting it inside, working on Nicholson. Back to C with 8 to shoot. Murdix got his hand on the ball. Is this a tie-up or a foul? Joe Wilbert blowing his whistle and calling a foul on Murdix. Murdix, Southland all-defensive team with 62 steals, almost had one there, but instead picks up the foul.
Well, David, I know there's a fine line. You don't want to over-penetrate, but at the same time, if you're getting pressured and you continue to pound the ball from the perimeter and don't attack, you got to eventually attack. Now, you got to be strong with the ball, but this is going to play into HBU's hand if they can get to the line the remainder of the half.
Well, they're in the bonus now, Ben, with 12:20 remaining.
A lot of basketball, David. There's too much left, and you can see again that you don't try to read the minds of coaches, but I've been there, and Steve Lutz is just saying, look, we got to get back here if we can to just getting some stops and getting it back in our rhythm.
Nice feed. Unable to finish, however, Tennyson got it back and fouled.
The feed by Keys.
Corpus will have free throws. They are 10 of 10 from the line. HBU 7 of 13. Trevian Tennyson, third team all conference. 88% from the line in conference play before that make, but all conference due to his 73 pointers, hitting just below 40% of them coming in. One of the many transfers on this squad from Ranger College. He's from Arlington in the Dallas area.
A 15-point lead for the Islanders. 6 straight after HBU got it to within 9. Just 2 runs that the Islanders have answered. That's why Murnix was on the all-defensive team. Just forced the turn off back in January,
A game which saw the Cowboys win in double overtime.
Yeah, there's a huge win at the time, and I'm sure they're going to look forward to the rematch again.
We saw HBU and UIW play for the 4th time this season yesterday. Tennyson from the corner.
and again another answer to an HBU run. A 9-0 run as Tennyson puts Corpus up 18.
Yeah, that's a big basket because they were really knocking on the door, HBU. Now they're closing the gap again. I think that was a good adjustment out of the timeout.
Hoffman for 3, yes. His third 3. His teammates just have 3, however. They need to step it up.
Well, you know, it's tough. You're in a zone, so A&M Corpus Christi can take their time.
Looking for the back door, but Mishila couldn't handle the pass from Tennyson. Thompson picks it up.
Long looking to get going. He is still ice cold. 0 of 5 from the floor.
Nicholson, yes. Had 9 in the win at HBU February 26th. And just 2.5 a game, but Steve Lutz mentioned him without us asking him about him, saying he's playing his best basketball the last few weeks.
Well, I like the way A&M Corpus Christi is playing, David. They're taking what the defense gives them. And that's so important.
Sheila still scoreless. Tennyson pulls up. They are red hot from the floor now.
Well, here's what's going on, David. There's 3 or 4 guys passed up shots. That's team basketball. Every one of those players that touched the ball had an opportunity to score, take their man, and they just kept rotating the ball until they found the best shot. That's the kind of basketball that Coach Lutz's team has been playing over the last 6-7 games of the season.
13-2 run. Still HBU basketball. So
we keep talking about HBU's propensity to make runs. Well, they've had 2. Corpus has answered them both. They played last night. They went 4 overtime Saturday. How much in reserves could Bryson Long and his team have?
And Ron Cottrell said that to me right before the game. He said, I just don't know how we can continue to make run. It just takes too much out of us, and especially against a team like Corpus Christi that's got so much energy.
Good hands. Jackson coming away with a steal.
Miles Smith to an open Nicholson for 3.
I just feel like Darius Lee, he wears number 23. He have to go Michael Jordan here. Try to help his team back in it.
Very tough.
Here he is. Backing in on Smith. Fires. Got fouled. That's Smith's 4th.
Well, again, you know, that's a recipe that they're going to have to go to if you can just stop the clock, get some free throws. And, you know, but when you start digging these double-digit and almost 20-point deficits, it's really tough. Everything's almost got to go right for you, and everything's got to almost go wrong for your opponents, and that oftentimes doesn't happen. Ron Cottrell, veteran coach, just talking to his staff and, you know, asking what can they do to slow down this juggernaut of a team in A&M Corpus Christi, because they just find ways, even when things aren't going well or they missed a few shots, they just seem to get a couple of turnovers. They're able to rotate the ball, get an easier shot, just a better shot. Very impressed with this Corpus Christi team.
And Steve Lutz said, I have 6 to 10 starters. I imagine in your years you had teams with great depth, and once you kind of figured out how to balance it all out, I'm sure those teams were quite dangerous.
Well, and the key, David, is not knowing your role. Everybody can know their role. I used to say that. It's, can you accept your role? And if you accept your role, and you really do, your team is special.
Tordoff bumps Faramade in a foul.
And we used to go around in our team meetings and say, okay, everybody tell me your role. And every player knew their role. Now I said, how many of you accept your role? And don't just tell me you accept it, show me. And show each other. And that's a whole nother ball game. And that's what this Corpus Christi team's doing. They're showing that they accept their roles.
How honest would players be, though, in those meetings? Because I'm sure they don't want to tell you, well, no, coach.
No, well, but, you know, again, David, it's your ego, it's being intelligent, it's being accepting of, you know, not having an ego, but, you know, being there for your teammates and your team, and you're willing to give something up if you really want to win. That's just a fact in the game of the sports.
Faramade the catch, and a nice finish as well.
Can you be happy for your teammates? And if you are, you're going to have something special. And I don't think it's one guy on this team, although Mishila dominates some of the statistics. It's everybody on a given night can get it done for the Islanders.
Well, 9 Islanders have scored, Ben, and Isaac Mishila is not one of them.
No, so good case in point. I think you just, you know, made that point loud and clear.
He's on the floor right now, 18 minutes, but scoreless on 0 of 2 shooting. I don't think he's going to be held scoreless tomorrow, regardless of what happens today. That's a charge. It is all A&M Corpus Christi. They came in, Steve Lutz says, maybe playing our best basketball, and that's despite
going 10-3 in the non-conference, 11-3 rather, with their only losses at Texas A&M, Minnesota, and Notre Dame.
But why does he say that? Because you're in your conference. It's one thing to do it non-conference, one thing to do it early in the season. Now you're going up against teams that know you and know you well. That's hard to do against teams that have scouted you well.
Fryer, the hot first half with 13, passes up the 3. 8 minutes to go. Here's Fryer from the wing. Yes, sir.
David, they're probing, they're finding a way to get 2 guys to guard the ball, and then they just keep finding the open man. It seems like there's 6 players on the floor for Corpus Christi. It really does. It just seems like there's an open player somewhere, and that's because of their ball movement.
They're feeling it on the Islanders bench, their biggest lead.
15-0 when holding opponents to 70 points or less.
They
took on Nichols twice in the regular season, lost them both, 83-80 in overtime, and then just 8 days ago, 86-75 in Corpus. So the Cardinals were able to get the offense going. How key is it for Corpus to make that game tomorrow against Nichols a little bit like this, more rugged and harder to score?
Well, they're going to put pressure on them. That's what they did tonight.
C for 3 off the mark. Just how easy is it, though, against a Nichols team that's the hottest team in the league? Outright conference champs after a 1-2 start, able to win 10 of their last 11.
Well, it's a challenge. It is hard, and you know that's why you're getting the seed. If you're able to get that seed, you've proven something within your league, and I think to get the 2 days of rest will help. There's no question. I know some people argue that you want to be in a rhythm, but I think you need fresh legs, and so. To have to win 2 games as opposed to 4, big deal. Have to win 2 games as opposed to 3 is a big deal. I think you want to take every advantage you can, and you also got your reputation, which has proven that you've stood the test of your league.
Well, in the 86-75 win for Nichols 8 days ago, they had a rolling offensively, 54% shooting. Southland Player of the Year, Ty Gordon, 21 points, 6 assists, but 5 Colonels were in double figures.
Well, and Ty Gordon wasn't there earlier, and he's back, and so that's a big difference. You add Ty Gordon to your team, or any team for that matter, and that team's going to get an advantage. So, like Nichols' chances, but I also like the way, if they can hold on here, I like the way that A&M Corpus Christi's playing, because they certainly have depth. They've got a little bit of chip on their shoulder, and they could be playing as well as anybody in this conference.
When we had the Southland Conference tip-off in early January, and of course none of those games counted towards the conference standings, Corpus was the darling.
Yeah, I mentioned just the 3 non-conference losses, all at high major schools. They won their first game, and then Nichols really took it to them in the second round. And that started Corpus's adjustment to having to play these conference opponents. They're about to win their 5th and their last 6th, and maybe in that stretch, this is their best performance.
It is, and again, they've had to go through some things. It didn't happen, just by hanging out and showing up. I mean, they stumbled. They had to do some soul searching, both the players and the coaches, and that's saying something. And they've learned, they've grown. And if you can grow as a team, grow as a person in competitive sports and in life, I think you're going to find yourself, put yourself in a position to be successful.
It's interesting, all the schools that go through that adversity. Mentioned Corpus at one point a 5-game losing streak in the league. Nichols early on in conference play dealt with some player attrition. Ty Gordon was hurt. They really got off to a rough start, and now they're better. I'm imagining as long as the adversity doesn't come in your very last game, it can be good for you.
Now, David, I think I've said this story. I don't know if I've said it on one of our broadcasts, but I remember playing Michigan, and I believe it was a Fab Five or right around there, and we got waxed. I was in Eastern Michigan then. But got beat by 40 or 50, and we had to come back and play Steve Smith in Michigan State. And you know what we did? We won that game. And so how did we win? Because we got our butts beat by Michigan. That was the incentive. We said we got to right this ship, and we had an opportunity. So things can happen. You learn from mistakes. You learn. Hopefully, when you've been down and you take a bad loss, you get whipped. You've got to come back and fight if you're a competitor.
Those other teams that Michigan beat up when they were the Fab Five didn't have Earl Boykins, though.
Yeah, no, but we had Grant Long. We had some pretty good players. We had to go up against Grant Long's cousin and Terry Mills. They were first cousins. That was fun. I'll never forget those matchups. But, you know, we thought the world had ended, and then, you know, I reminded our guys, hey, we can't feel sorry for ourselves. We got to play Michigan State, and we were able to play them and beat them, and we beat them in overtime, but we beat them. We were up 10. They sent it to overtime, but Steve Smith was on that team.
How long did the momentum last even after beating
We won the league.
Spartans?
Well, we won the league that year. That's how important that was. So I'm telling you that story because it takes adversity sometimes to turn around your season. It takes adversity to make you grow as a man, as a person. And I think, you know, as a coach, we all got better.
Steve Lutz told us also, not just his players, he said, hey, I had to go through the adversity of being a first-year head coach, and he's been an assistant under Matt Painter, Greg McDermott, some great ones. Even Danny Casper, going back to the days at UIW when Casper was there during their Division II time. He's learned as well, he's told us, to be a better head coach as the season's gone along.
David, there's a coach with very little ego. It's not about him. It's about his players. It's about the game, which he respects, and he's paid his dues. He's been a part of winning. He's a reason why his teams have won. He's been a teammate, a coaching staff member. So no surprise that he's put his Islanders in a position in such a short time to do what they've done. And, you know, it's been impressive.
From 5 wins last year to, it looks like, unless HBU has quite the run in them, 21 with at least one more to go. The top seed in Nichols tomorrow. Darius Lee looking for a second chance. That's how hard it's been for him to score inside the length of Corpus.
No, it's tough. You know, you mentioned it's not like the Islanders and their program haven't won. Willis Wilson was there. They won a championship. They did a great job. Willis, fine coach, personal friend and acquaintance through the years. But it's, you know, can you sustain it? Can you come in there and on short turnarounds and get it going? That's tough to do anywhere. And just the fact that you do it in your first year, that's really, I think that's great. That it's a good sign. It's a good starting point. You have to start somewhere, and I really like the mentality of this team and the fact that they are building something and they're doing it the good old-fashioned way. They're just working hard. They're playing together.
He told us flat out, he said, denying on defense has to be our calling card. They're going to be 15-0 now when holding opponents to 70 or less, and HBU may not even get close to 70. The push off on completely turned his offense around, and I thought that's amazing from someone who has won so many games to have the presence of mind to say what we're doing isn't working. And he got his team so improved that not only were they the 5th seed, they won last night, and they were playing almost as well as anyone in the league coming into Katy.
No, and it's amazing. You know, you're kind of set in your ways, David. Believe me, I know after many years of doing something that's been good for you. But he went and changed his offense, went from a 2-3 to a 1-4. He changed and put together presses, you know, changed a little bit of personnel and certain people coming off the bench. And those tweaks spelled some success for him. So, again, that's something that you have to do as a coach. He's still showing you his adaptability after these years of coaching.
He just had a couple of words for his longtime assistant, Stephen Key. 28 years by his side as an assistant. Judd Kinney, a dozen years. We said, how do your assistants stay with you so long? He said, well, we have a terrific university. They love living in Houston, and maybe I'm not too bad of a jerk.
Yeah.
Tongue in cheek, he said that last
You know
quote.
what? If you know Ron Cottrell, if you can't work with and for Ron Cottrell, you can't work for anybody. He's that kind of guy. He's revered in the coaching business. He's just one of the good guys in the game of college basketball. He's somebody you know you're proud of. He does a lot for his university outside of just basketball.
An easy man to cheer for. Tonight, though, has not been his team's night. Sam Hoffman now in double figures. And you said it, he even told you before the game, he said, you know, we played last night, we went 4 overtime Saturday. I hope our team has enough energy. And I think Corpus gets the most credit for stymieing them, but I think that's one reason why the Islanders have been in control.
No, but you mentioned something that's very important. His coaching staff, you mentioned Stephen Key and Judd Kinney and Byron Rim, also a veteran, a former head coach, Perry View, coached against him. You know, he's got a staff that will get this team righted. They'll work hard, they'll recruit hard, and you know, there's a bright future there. There's no question.
63-46, the Corpus lead as we approach 5 minutes. HBU's had 2 runs since Corpus led big early. Islanders answer them both. That's 2 and a foul. Faramade, the sophomore from here in Houston, putting his team up 19.
Well, that's a big basket because you're going to need your players to come through. And here it is. Here's a play in traffic, doesn't bring it down, absorbs the contact. So, you know, these baskets are big. I know the game is pretty much decided, but it's just to be able to play with this enthusiasm, get your guys some minutes, because these players are going to have to play, when there's fatigue involved. And fatigue's going to be a factor when you go up against a team that's had a 2-day rest.
And how important also is it that looks like doesn't look like they'll be very much challenge the Islanders here in the final 5
with a game going on tomorrow. You don't need, I guess for lack of a better term, full intensity for 40 minutes, although Corsall hits the 3. They're hoping, obviously, that this doesn't go down to the wire with an HBU run.
Well, HBU is capable. I mentioned this, David. They've done it before. It's not a shocker if they do it again.
Tennyson got bumped. That almost fell. Or Nicholson, rather, and he'll go to the line. Mishila on the bench. Trevian Tennyson on the bench. And DeLazarus Keys. We're about to see Ethan White for the first time for Corpus.
Well, you ask yourself, is there anybody that can they play the foul game? You know, oftentimes you do that, go up and foul some people and just give up, 2 for 1 or 3 for 2. And, you look around and probably you have 1 player or 2 you can play, but that's predicated on the ball getting in their hands. Good teams don't put the ball in bad free throw shooters' hands late in the game. But again, it's, HBU's, they've made runs. It just, do they have any more left in them?
C fades away. An 18-point Islander lead as we approach 4:30 to go.
Nicholson lost it going up, and Brinson took it away from C. Here's Ethan White right off the bench. Oh, the bench will love that.
The graduate hits his first shot.
It's great to see a player coming in as a graduate and hit a shot. That's, by the way, he's 5 of 9 from 3, so he's not on the year. It's not like he can't shoot the ball. Forget if he's going to tell you he can shoot it. He just needs some reps. Coach, put me in. I used to have players like that, David, that would always show me their stats. Because he said, Coach, you're always big on stats. Here's my stats. How come I'm not getting more run? And I sometimes didn't have an answer. I was at Cal and I was at Rice. I had players a lot smarter than me. And they'd go to the analytics, they'd go to the stats, and they'd show me, they'd make a pretty good case that they needed some more time.
I always love it when your players deep on your bench score and all the starters who may be on the bench you rub. So you can tell that that's a great practice player, someone that the mainstays on this team love, and they're happy to see a guy like Ethan White have.
No, it's a great sign because 1, it means you're winning the game, and 2, it means that you're getting somebody an opportunity who deserves that opportunity. They're out there every night. You don't see them, but they're as much a part of your team. The scout team, as you mentioned, is the starters.
How about the handshake, Ron Cottrell for Miles Smith? For all the transfers the Islanders have, Miles Smith has just fouled out. He's a mainstay in Corpus. He almost has 1,200 points in his career, and what a classy move, the handshake between the veteran coach and the veteran Islander.
Yeah, no, there's nothing but class out here, David. I'm so impressed.
Four minutes left. It's been all Islanders tonight. Off the window and in. That's Jordan Roberts right off the bench.
And the freshman will go to the line.
And you can see the bench. You might say, is that necessary? But you can't take away emotion, David. It's just you can't. Great emotion from great effort. You love to see it. Here it is. The foul and the basket. Chance for 3 when we come back.
All smiles for the team from South Texas. A&M Corpus Christi about to roll into the semifinals with 3:56 to go.
We'll have another second-round matchup coming up. Ben Braun, your thoughts on McNeese and UNO?
Yeah, I really am looking forward to that matchup. I mean, there's such a tradition, a competitive rivalry there. They've played this year, flipped the tables on each other. So I think that's going to be a tremendous matchup. I like the way that McNeese is playing, but UNO's finished strong. they've done some good things too. So they've come back and played some pretty good basketball.
There's a lot of intrigue around UNO. I mean, we talked about how Corpus was coming in hot. I mean, UNO's the opposite. They started 9-1 in the league, lost 3 of 4, so they're facing adversity for the first time since conference play started.
Yeah, they are, but David, they're still a good basketball team. I don't worry about the losses as much as how they're playing. Are they still being competitive? They're playing competitively. I like Mark Schlesinger's team, and more importantly, Mark Schlesinger likes Mark Schlesinger's team, and that's what matters. It doesn't matter what you and I think. Your coach has to like you, and your players have to like each other. So I think it's going to be a great game. That's going to be one of the better games in this tournament, I really believe.
Mark Schlesinger says we just haven't played his team as well on defense as they have in the past. They've given up a ton of points in the last couple of weeks. Their only one of the last 4 was against HBU by 1, and they trailed by 16 in the second half. So they've almost come in with a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, they have, but I wouldn't count that, put much into that. They'll be ready.
Jordan Roberts off the mark for 3.
We talk every year we do these games how key it is to get rest. I think it's had a little bit of an impact here, at least, right? As Darius Lee hits the 3. Corpus, the rested team, HBU playing last night and playing 4 overtimes on Saturday.
How much gas in the tank will McNeese have after knocking off Northwestern State last night?
Well, I think they're going to have to come with some gas because they're playing as UNO, and UNO's got bodies. They've got fresh legs, so you don't have time not to come in here with a full tank of gas.
Best backcourt in the league, arguably, and Derek St. Hilaire and Troy Green, who do so much, average about 40-plus points a game, but also rebound. Troy Green's the leading rebounder as a guard. They'll be fun to see coming up.
No, those 2 guards, you mentioned that, David. That's a pair that a very formidable pair. You hate to, as an opponent, to have to go up against those 2 because that's a killer combination.
We're still a few days away, of course, Saturday nights when we're going to crown a champion here.
You've coached teams at Cal that made it as an at-large, and then as dunked here by Jason Thompson. But you've also had to coach teams that had to win their conference tournaments just to make it into the NCAAs. How much pressure is still on everyone here knowing they have to win to keep their dream alive? There's no at-large for anyone.
No, and the break, it's tough, David. I'm to be honest, there's a lot of pressure. To have to win to advance to the NCAA, even though you think you've won 24, 25 games, you think you're one of the better teams in the country. If you don't have the high net or RPI at the time or net rankings, your league maybe doesn't have the higher rankings as a high major Power 5, then what do you have to do? You have to win your tournament, and that's tough. You got to do it all over again, play a team again, and have to beat a team maybe for the 3rd time. Not easy.
So Ron Cottrell's just emptied his bench. That's a 2 from Deshaun Proctor, freshman from Tyrone, Georgia. I mean, look, we mentioned not long ago, in early January, we had the Southland Conference tip-off, and HBU went 0-3. I don't think a lot of folks thought after that they'd finish as the 5 seed and win a game here. Although it's going to end in disappointment, I think the rebound that HBU had, because they weren't great in the non-conference either, I think you give a lot of credit to Ron Cottrell, his staff, and the players.
No, you have to, and that is a big accomplishment. That's a program builder right there. You can build.
Tyrese Nicholson, what a move.
Yeah. Now they're feeling it, but you mentioned that's a step. It's a positive. You take the positives, David. Look, it's going to end not well for every team in this tournament except one. So you're not winning every game. Only one team's going to win every game in advance. So you have to take some positives. There's no question that you can build on that.
Steve Lutz and his team will enjoy this, and you've been through it many years as a coach. Coaching staff will get in the conference room tonight, wherever the Islanders are staying. They'll watch the 2nd game, start scouting them. It's a late night for those folks, huh?
Yeah, what makes you think that's so enjoyable, David? That's not. You don't sleep. You don't see your family. And what do? You're up watching every game film, every minute. You're eating, whenever you can eat, which might be 3 in the morning. You don't sleep. There's no tomorrow. You have to get your team ready. Your team's sleeping, but you're not.
With Isaac Mushila, the Southland Conference Newcomer of the Year, going scoreless. Still a dominating performance by this Islander group that's shown off their depth. Simeon Fryer got it going early with his 3-point shooting, but the defense was really the story.